Okay, this is Paula Grech, and this is my model.
Okay, this is my heart right here. You've got the right atria, right ventricle, left atria, left ventricle, aorta. This is my brachiocephalic. And then I've got the right subclavian artery, the right common carotid artery, left common carotid artery, and the left subclavian artery, and the descending aorta. Okay, before I shove this into my model, this is my superior vena cava, brachiocephalic on the right side, brachiocephalic on the right side, external left jugular, external right jugular, internal right jugular, external left jugular, right subclavian, left subclavian. And I did arteries and veins on the separate side of the body, and you can see my heart is in the rib cage. I have a close-up on that that I will edit in because it's just too hard to see all the structures once it's in the rib cage. But anyway, then we have our, here we have our left carotid, okay, and it comes down to the subclavian, which then turns into the axillary artery, which then turns into the brachial artery right here, and I'm going to turn them around so you get a better view. And so here is our brachial artery right there, and our brachial artery branches out into our radial artery, which is more on the outside, and the ulnar artery, which is on the inside. And those go down into the palmar arch, which is here, and then give rise to the digital arteries. Okay, going back up, you see you have the descending aorta back there, the red one. So the descending aorta then turns into the common iliac, I believe. Yes, the common iliac. Let's get some light down here. So before the split is the common iliac. Then this guy is the internal iliac artery, this dangler, and this outside one is the external iliac artery, which then becomes the femoral artery. And then on the back, you've got the, and I can never pronounce this one right, but the popliteal one, the one that runs in the back of the knee. And then from the artery in the back of the knee, you have the posterior, well, this is the anterior tibial, and then you have the posterior tibial artery. Then you have this outer one here is the dorsal pedal artery, and then you have the plantar arch, and then you have these digital arteries here. Now the veins, and again, it's a little hard to see inside the ribs here, what's going on. So I have a close-up of that before I inserted it. And I admit my veins are a little bit big compared to my arteries. But let's see. So we have the superior vena cava, which we know is over the right atria. Okay, and then that gives rise to the brachiocephalic vein, and then you've got the internal and external jugular. So you can see here, it's hard to point. These are my internal jugular, and this is my external jugular. Okay, and then this big fat guy is my subclavian. And from my subclavian, it turns into the brachial, okay, which then goes down into the radial vein and the ulnar vein, which then goes down into the palmar venous arches, which are that arch there, this, and then the digital veins. And then on the other side, we've got the dorsal venous network, which is like this diamond-shaped vein. And then we have the cephalic vein and the basilic vein in here. And where those kind of cross down here, we have the medial vein. So then going back to the descending aorta, which is this blue one, we have the common iliac, which is right here before the split. We have the that's the internal iliac, this little guy, and then the external iliac, and then we have the femoral vein, which is the big guy coming down the back, and that one kind of splits into the anterior and posterior tibial, so that sort of wraps, so it sort of splits and it wraps around the tibia there. And there's another vein getting in the way, but you can see there's the posterior tibial vein, and it comes down into the that right there is the dorsal venal arch, and you have the digital veins, and then you have the great saphenous vein that kind of runs down the the inside of the knee and runs down the tibia and then connects down here. And then you have the smaller saphenous vein, which I gotta turn my model, runs down the other side, and it kind of connects from the back there and runs down and connects back down into the veins of the foot down there.